Over 25,000 frontline experiences have been read and mapped in the last 12 years, and we have one conclusion, and that is that staff experiences are more valuable to redesign than patient experience. Over the last 12 years, this is all the different types of media that we've actually read, mapped and analysed. You can see the various different sorts. More recently, it's been more online postings from patients or from customers. So what happens with these experiences is that they cluster, and they cluster around various topics and themes. And when you've read 25,000, you start to see some real interesting patterns. One of those patterns has developed itself into our 60-point organisation diagnostics model. So there are 6 elements to it. There's leadership and management, people and culture, processes, the subsystems, and everything that faces the customer, whether that's a product, a service, or marketing, or communications. At the centre of it all is it's all about progress or evolution of the company, and this inner circle is about the system sensors. So there's essentially six areas to the system, but there's also everything that sits outside the system. And this matches up with systematic innovation. They've reviewed 3.5 million patents and publications. It's one of the biggest studies into innovation in the world, and it's been going on since 1956. And this matches the TRIZ law of systems completeness. So we know we have a very robust model. Okay, so what happens when we map patient and staff perceptions to this model, and this is at a real situation in a hospital, is that we get a lot of, from the patient's perspective or experiences, we get a lot around the customer facing products and services. That's pretty obvious really. We get a little bit around leadership, management, people and culture and the systems. Not much gets mapped to the evolution and the progress of the organisation. But when we actually map staff perceptions, in each one of these dots it represents a cluster of staff perceptions, and there is actually 60 points to this model. When we map the staff perceptions, you can see it's a totally different picture. Not so much around the customer facing products and services, but lots more about the internal system. So that's why we need staff perceptions to redesign any system or any organisation, and it's much more important to redesign than the customer facing stuff. The customer facing stuff, the patient stuff, can identify a problem, but it's the internal stuff that resolves it. We call it triangulation of data, whether that's patients, staff, but also stakeholders. Okay, thank you.